These are called delineators. And to me that sounds like some kind of medical equipment. And I call them a different name. You have those little cones and they're called pylons. I think these should be called polons. No? I forgot my phone holder. So I'm thinking I could put the phone up there and record a video, or I could put it on that somehow. I'm gonna figure this out and make a video. Say hello to everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm on nights, so I'm just starting a night shift. It's for street sweeping. I do have a video out going through everything. It would have been a year ago, probably. I think it was titled Night Shift. I'm not really sure. It's in around the fire video. It was really warm last year too. Nothing like this year. This year's been a really slow start to the spring and not a fun one. Up and down temperatures, cooler temperatures, and a lot of wind, and just a really slow start to summer or spring. And I think it's discouraging for a lot of Albertans right now because we're all just ready for winter to be over with, right? So wasn't expecting to go on nights. I was called in early this year for asphalt, which was really good. I'm not sure if I'm going to be on asphalt this year or if I'll be on base, which is hauling dirt, which is fine. Either or, as long as I get my hours, I'm fine with it. But I didn't think I was going to be going on nights, so I didn't have anything arranged with the daycare, and I've already got it paid for days. So Wilson's he's doing something else this evening, or for the nights that I'm working anyway, and he sleeps. I don't think he's gonna miss his mom too much. He's pretty happy to see me when I go get him in the morning, but I'm happy to see him too. He's doing really good. think it's a little rough on him when I do nights. He doesn't get to stay outside as much, but I put him out today and he wanted right back in the van again, so he's not a big fan of getting wet. I did try to take him swimming a few times, and I don't know. I never knew a dog that didn't like to go swimming or fishing and stuff like that, traipse through the water, but Wilson's finicky like that. He's such a big boy, he's so tough, and he doesn't like to get his feet wet. But I just put out the delineator. Doesn't that sound like something that would be for like medical equipment or something? It isn't, it's a plastic pole. So if you have pylons, why wouldn't that be a pole line? I don't know, but my hands are dirty. So I bring my baby wipes to work with me because I don't like dirty hands. And I did a video too on different things for van lifing. Way back before I was still on EI, I just got in the van and putting it together, sleeping on the floor and going through things and just really trying to makeshift some kind of functioning space. And you can see that. This is from one hand. It's not too bad. Oops. But I did put in hand lotion, and I have hand lotion too, and that's a really good way to clean your hands and your face and stuff if you don't have enough running water. Water on hand, if you're living in a vehicle or whatever, you just, most of us have toilet paper or a paper towel, and you just use the hand lotion and then you wipe it off, and it does the trick, right? It's just, I find it's a really good option because, I don't know, Alberta's dry, so I like to have my hand lotion. Anyway, I wanted to get a video out. Something's been on my mind. It's not my van build. I know my last video was, I would say it was negative, and I think it's just because it's been so long. It's taken over a year now and I'm still not done, so that kind of actually becomes a deterrent to some people. It's not me, because I know I have to get it done, I have to finish it. It's something that's not an option for me, it needs to be done. But because I ended up getting called in early for work, I was discouraged, I think, because I didn't have that week that I could really get a lot accomplished. And I did have 2 days off last weekend, so I did get a lot of stuff done, which really made me feel a lot better. But that just sets a fire underneath your butt. And I needed a swift kick in the butt too, because I got thinking after, and I thought, you know, you have a van and you've been working on it, and at least you have the van and you can work on it and it's still running. And you have a camper and you have a new project to work on, and if you don't want it, or it's stressing you out or becoming a burden, then you don't have to have it, you can sell it. And if you find your gardening or your hydrating or your canning that's coming up is stressing you out or being a burden, then you don't have to do it. And I'm thinking, okay, well, that's a good way to look at it, because if it's going to cause burden, then get rid of it. And I thought, well, no, I don't want to get rid of it, so stop complaining about it. So that's what I'm going to do, stop complaining about it. So I have a few more projects on the van to do. I'm really looking forward to getting it done. And the staining, there's a story behind the staining. I have, for people that have followed me, they already know this, but for the new people, I'll let in my horribly expensive stain. So I was doing research on stain, and I found a stain that makes stuff look like barnwood, but it also brings out brown and grays. And it's called pinning, P-I-N-N-I-N-G. And I could only get it out of the States. But also, now my back cabinet, because I have the way that I'm going to have everything underneath my bed, we'll go through that too, all my storage stuff and medical stuff and tools and where everything's gonna go. I do have room to store winter clothes or summer clothes, because once I get my storage emptied out, I don't want to have anything left in storage. So in saying that, I can turn that area that I have my stove and that cupboard or dresser in, I can always opt out and put food in there if I'm not taking the camper with me, or if it's winter time and the roads are bad and I'm going on a short trip or what have you. I'll still have the wood stove and my Coleman stove, and I have so many options to either make it into an extended bedroom or put it back into a kitchen if I need be. That camper is going to be an extra space for me, and it'll make a great kitchen because I can stand up. It'll give me more storage, it'll give me an extra lounging area, and it will give me a space where I can put a lot of my bathroom and toiletries and extra toilet paper and stuff like that. So it's just an extra space. My van is my number one space. But in saying that, I have seen, going through Edmonton this year with my job, I've seen it really looking rough. It looks like a lot of people are not able to really maintain their homes as much. Things are looking really rough. People are looking rough. There's a lot more street people. There's a lot more little tent areas going up. Excuse me. I know there's like tent cities going up, but there's just basically one. But there's all these little shelters seem to be popping up everywhere. And I know inflation is really bad. The economy is really, really bad right now. Food is so expensive. Fuel is so expensive. Everything is so expensive. And I am so concerned about young families. People that are paying mortgages, people that are paying rent. I don't know how they're doing it. And the elderly or senior citizens, they only have such an income. And I really worry about their sorry, I have to get a drink. I'm really worried about their comfort level and their ability to put a proper meal on the table, like something that's healthy for them and stuff. And the reason I'm doing hydrating my food and canning it is because I want to prepare for next winter. I don't think things are going to get better, and I think the spring, summer, if you're at all possible, even if you just have a balcony, it's really easy to put together a garden. A lot of gardens can go up instead of out, especially tomatoes. Homemade lemonade. I didn't put enough sugar in it though. It's really yummy. Anyway, I'm seeing things that are coming down the pipe, and I just think things aren't going to be the greatest for people. And I wanted to mention options. And it's not like I know everything, but I have struggled in my life. I raised 4 kids, and I know what it's like not to have enough food, and make sure that my kids could eat. And I went without a lot, and I'm not looking for sympathy. It made me a stronger person. It made me value things more. It made me more sensitive to other people and their situations. I was raised to always put myself in someone else's shoes, and I think that's really an important thing for people to, a concept for people to hold on to. Sometimes you can overdo it, but at the same time, I always think putting yourself in someone else's shoes before you judge them is really an important thing to do. It brings back humanity into your heart. But I wanted to address those that might be thinking of options. So I was thinking today, what if I didn't have my van? What could I do? Well, I could room with other people. I could move into a smaller place. Those that have mortgages and families, all these decisions are big decisions, and they're not necessarily easy decisions to make. It's like walking on a tightrope, and sometimes you get to the center of the tightrope and all of a sudden you're in a bad way, and it's not tight enough, it's slacking on you, or and I just don't want to see people go through anything where it brings them fear or hunger or stress and burden and loneliness and discouragement. There's enough of that in the world, and a lot of people don't like change, and I think personally I love change. I've got 3 colors of curtains that I'm going to be making. It's just going to be simple broadcloth. If I can find material at a secondhand store or something like that, I'll do that. I do have other materials, so I'm going to do it the cheapest way I can. But as far as change goes, I need to always change things. So I figured for 3 of the seasons of the year, I'll just change out my curtains so it doesn't get too monotonous. But that's me. Some people have a hard time with change, and a lot of people are struggling with bills and finances, and it's no one's fault really, but it's just the way things are going right now. And I think a lot of people really need to take a step back and sit down and think, okay, am I safe like I am right now? What if things get better? Should I be looking at other options? It is the spring and summer coming up, and it's a good time to make a move, not be caught in something that is not going to be good for you. Maybe if you live in a colder part of North America or wherever you are, I think right now is a good time to sit down and weigh out options for people. Even if it's a family member or somebody down the street that you might be able to sit down and talk with, or suggest some different options for them if they're going through rough times or they're heading towards those rough times. Like, we all have to be here for one another. But splitting up, like say if you're paying rent or something, maybe move in with somebody or find a cheaper place, or even move out of the city, and if you're in a city, move to a smaller place, more rural, because a lot of those places are cheaper, or into a vehicle. And you can make whatever you have a wonderful place. Just put some positivity into your projects, and have faith in yourself. That's a really big one. Have faith in yourself. And I mean, we're born alone into this world, and we're going to die alone. So when you're living alone, at least have faith in yourself, because it's all you really have sometimes is yourself. So there's a lot of people that are fearful of their circumstances. A lot of people that are just don't know what to do. It's, I hate to see these people living in tents and stuff, and not everybody is as fortunate as other people. And I find myself very fortunate that I have my van that I've been building out. I could see things were kind of going this way a few years ago, and that is one reason why I started doing what I was doing. Also, I was finding that my bills and my rent and my car payment and fuel were taking away from my food. And to sit down and have a good meal, or know that you have food, really makes a big difference in your life. So I'm just, my channel's up here because I did want to show people, and I know I've used the word inspire, but it's more than just inspiring. It's being an example to show people that I'm alone doing this. I'm older. I'm on a budget. I'm working 7 months hard out of the year, and then the other 5 months is cold winter months. So my time management has to be bang on, and everything that I have when I'm the most tired, and the skill set and the tools that I have. And so there was a lot going against me, and there was a lot of things, learning curves and what have you. And I just think it was good to put out a video so that other people could get ideas. They would have maybe a little bit more faith in themselves, because like, geez, I could do a better job than her, or I could do just as much as her, or I can do that too, or the freedom that I've gained out of this is enormous. The feeling of freedom and just being lightweighted, getting rid of majority of my stuff, which I'm still doing, but by the end of the summer I want it all gone, only what's in the camper and what's in the van. And every time I get rid of stuff, and I thought I'd never want to get rid of it, a lot of it's antiques and stuff, and even some family stuff, and I tried to pawn that off on my kids. But it's such a great feeling to not have as much stuff, and to have more control over your whole life, your living quarters, your foods, intake, your lack of bills, and it's just freedom, a lot more freedom. And so if anyone's thinking about doing it, sit down and write out some things and figure some things out. Now that it's spring and summer, it's a good time to do it. It's a good time to test the waters. And whatever kind of vehicle you have, you can make it to be a wonderful space for yourself. Sometimes we're dealt the cards that we're dealt, and they end up turning out better than if you went bigger, or I don't know. Or if you do have something that you're not going to be using, maybe you could sell it cheap to somebody that really needs something right now. The most important thing is there's lots of video channels out there for people to get all kinds of ideas, get all kinds of inspiration from. And find a community wherever you can, where you feel safe and that you feel not alone. And for heaven's sakes, I really hope people start doing whatever they can do now before. I think we're all in a pickle. I think we're all looking at some hard times coming ahead. So basically this video is kind of setting out some kind of message to people that I think right now is the time to act. Right now is the time to start putting a plan together. And there's all kinds of options out there, and everyone's situation is different. But I think it's a good idea to start thinking about things anyway. And if you're serious about living in a vehicle, there's so many awesome videos out there to give you ideas. And if you're living in a vehicle, at the same time you're saving money. And it does take time, if you're on a budget, to build out something and accumulate things and get your vehicle in a sound running manner so that you're not stranded somewhere. I don't know. I just wanted to bring this message out tonight because I have been seeing a lot of things and it breaks my heart. And there's really nothing that I can do except for what I am doing now, and that's reaching out to people and trying to be some kind of example for people. And I've stumbled lots. It's been a long journey for the build and for getting, like, I still have mechanical work to get done, probably at least $2,000, $2,500, if not more. I don't know what else could go wrong. There's only so much I've done on it, and it's really hard to totally rebuild everything or replace everything. And I have got a sweeper here. Anyway, there's also, it takes time to build things out. And I need tires, and I also need a windshield. So it's not just the mechanical end, there's a lot to it to make sure that everything's in good running order. And some people don't have that opportunity, but just do what you can do. And I find that my subscribers have been really encouraging. I just love them to death. They're just a great bunch of people. So thank you for the comments. It's such a blessing to have the people that I do have watching me. I will keep putting out videos as much as I can. And even if I had like 5 people only watching me, I still would put out videos because I know deep down inside that it will reach people that need to hear and need to relate, and because we all help out each other in this world, even if we don't think that we are, in some way, shape, or form. We all have an effect on somebody else. So I think we need to be all kinder to each other. And yeah, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I'll be back on the weekend because I have 2 days off. I'm gonna want to sleep on those 2 days off, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna I have a sweeper guy there. He probably was sitting there watching me talking to myself on the camera, and that's embarrassing. It's okay though. I wanted to make a video. I just didn't think any of them would be along as quick as they were. I just got parked. Oh, here's another one. I'm gonna put the phone down. I'll get teased to death. Okay, you guys, we'll talk to you later.